In this video, using the SpaceEngine Planetarium, we're going to visit a very interesting and planet-rich system called Aesius. It's a unique binary system of a yellow and a brown dwarf located at a distance of 19,000 light-years from Earth, on the edge of the Milky Way. This system is full of life. There are planets with highly developed civilizations, planets with relatively undeveloped civilizations, and also planets where life exists, but civilization hasn't developed yet. Before we start the review of this system, I'll tell you that this system was created by a Steam user. He shared it in the Steam workshop. You can find a link to this system, if you're interested, in the description of this video. The first of the two, and the main star of this system, is called Aesius A. It's a yellow dwarf, and it has as many as 19 planets in its orbit, and there are as many as 12 life-bearing objects in its system. The first planet in the system is called Tolimu. It's a hot desert terra, tidally locked with one side facing the star. The average temperature here is as high as 345 degrees Celsius. The atmosphere is thin, which is why the surface pressure is only 700 of an atmosphere. This is what it's like on the surface of this planet. The atmosphere has these light green shades, and there are also views like this on this planet. At night on this planet, you can see beautiful auroras like these. The second planet, called Caradoc, has no atmosphere at all, and the average temperature on it is 35 degrees Celsius. It's also always facing the star with one side, and has a small asteroid moon. This is its shape. And the third planet is a hot marine terra with life. It has multicellular life in the water and on land. The planet was named Ryazan. This planet's no longer tidally locked to the star, meaning it doesn't always face the star with one side like the first two planets. The average temperature here reaches 326 degrees Celsius, and the atmospheric pressure on the surface is as high as 326 atmospheres. This is what it's like on its surface if you descend. The clouds are very dense, but you can still see the star in the sky. And here's the actual life on this planet. This is what it looks like here. If we hide the atmosphere and clouds, we see such a diverse surface on the planet, and it looks like there are green seas here. And really, if you look, it's like a green liquid, although the characteristics specify the liquid is water. But at night, you can't see anything at all here because of the dense atmosphere. The fourth planet in this system is called Asatira. It also has multicellular life in the water and on land. The class of this planet is a temperate marine terra with life. It has a great average temperature, which is 16 degrees Celsius, and the surface pressure is just over 1 atmosphere. This is what it's like on the surface of this planet. We immediately see vegetation. Here's the green vegetation we're used to, and these beautiful clouds on this planet. Without the atmosphere and clouds, this is what the terrain of this planet looks like. Let's watch the sunset here. And right after sunset, we can observe some comet in this system. Using a telescope, I'll zoom in and show it to you in more detail. Here actually is such beauty in the sky. On the dark side here, we see the lights of night cities, meaning that intelligent life lives here. The planet has 3 moons. The first closest moon, named Karu, is the largest, with a diameter of over 4,000 kilometers. And here, by the way, you can see it from the surface of this planet. So I've flown to it. This is what it looks like. On the 5th planet, called Tutumu, there's also life, and it's also multicellular, marine, and terrestrial. The conditions here are also excellent. The average temperature is 14 degrees Celsius and the pressure is 1.5 atmospheres. And here, by the way, I randomly landed in some ocean. We see water here and, well, an atmosphere that's a familiar blue to us. This is the view of the star from here. This is the terrain on this planet. Here we see a vast ocean. There are seas, green territories, and desert areas. Now I've landed in a desert area. This is how everything looks here. And this is what the vegetation looks like here. And apparently, an advanced civilization inhabits this planet, because look at how many night city lights are here on the dark side of the planet. Here I am on the dark side of the planet, and here we see one of the moons of this planet. If you switch to HDR mode, you can see the Milky Way galaxy very clearly in the sky here. It's here in all its glory. This planet has as many as 8 moons. And interestingly, there are 2 moons with life here. Here's the moon Mola. It also has multicellular marine and terrestrial life. The temperature is also ideal, 15 degrees Celsius, and the pressure is just over 1 atmosphere. And so here you go. We also see night city lights on the dark side of this moon. This is how it is here on the surface of this moon during the day, and this is at night. And you can see the parent planet. This is how everything looks in auto mode if you adjust the exposure. And here's the second moon with life named Bamashok. It's a temperate lacustrine subterra with life. It's colder here. The average temperature is minus 1.5 degrees Celsius, and the surface pressure is 1.33 atmospheres. I found life here right away. I just landed and saw it immediately. And and this is what it's like on the surface of this moon during the day. And we also see night city lights on the dark side, and this is how it is here at night. The parent planet, as we can see, already looks very small because this is the farthest moon of this planet. If you use auto mode and adjust the exposure, everything looks like this. This planet also has 2 more moons with a diameter of over 1,000 kilometers. The first one looks like this, and the second one is like that. Further in the system, we encounter the first gas planet. Its name is Madapur. It has such beautiful purple rings. Its class is cold Neptune. Its average temperature is minus 108 degrees Celsius. It has 17 moons, and among them, there's one with life. Here is this moon with life named Maruf. It's cold there. The average temperature here is around minus 21 degrees Celsius, and the pressure is almost 2 atmospheres. And such beauty on its surface. There's such a purple atmosphere here, unusual for us, but it looks beautiful. And right here, in this very spot, I've discovered life. Let's watch the sunset here. And at night, the gas planet is very clearly visible from here. Well, even closer to human vision, I managed to capture this shot. And here, I fast-forwarded time and took this beautiful shot. Looking at the dark side of this moon, there are no city lights here anymore. There are also 4 other airless, relatively large moons here. This is what one looks like, here's the second, this is the third, and the fourth. The 7th planet in this system is a small rocky world named Okavan. It has almost no atmosphere, and the average temperature is minus 141 degrees Celsius. It sort of orbits in a pair with another smaller object. This is basically what it looks like. And plus, there are 3 more moons orbiting these 2 paired objects. The 8th planet of the system is called Megalion. Here, the planet is completely covered in liquid, and it's not even ordinary water, but other chemical elements and compounds in liquid form. So it's an ocean world, and multicellular creatures even inhabit this liquid. The average temperature on the planet is quite comfortable, at 12 degrees Celsius. Well, the temperature is like this because there's immense surface pressure, reaching a value of 193 atmospheres. This is the surface here. As you can see, it's just one liquid ocean. Well, this isn't water. I'll say it again. It's all like this orange liquid, seemingly. And here's the atmosphere. This is how the star shines in the sky. We're already very far from the star, hiding the atmosphere in clouds. It's really just one continuous ocean with no land anywhere. The planet has 11 moons, and among them are 2 of the most interesting ones. The first has no atmosphere, but a diameter of over 2,000 kilometers, while the second is truly special. It's not a rocky moon, but a gas moon classified as a cold mini Neptune. It's half the size of Earth and very light. A cryogenic super Neptune named Tatius serves as the 9th planet of the system here. This gas planet has as many as 39 moons, and among all these moons, there's one special one that has multicellular life under the ice. This is what it looks like. And here on its surface, we can even see the aurora and a view of the super Neptune. And there are other large moons here as well. We see there are active volcanoes here, also an icy one like this, another one like that, and yet another icy moon. There's also a moon like this one, and the farthest final one is like this. And the most significant in size and mass, the 10th planet of this system was named Dibius. It's a cryogenic super Jupiter with a mass of 11.5 times that of Jupiter. It has extensive rings and 84 moons, 2 of which have life. And here's an interesting first moon with life. It's called Ergalicis, and we immediately see these blue city lights on the dark side. Right here, there's like a special city. Look at its outlines. It's very cold here. The average temperature drops to minus 161 degrees Celsius, and the pressure is 17 atmospheres. But life, that's unusual to us, lives here. Some kind of multicellular exotic creatures. Even though the moon has no oxygen or water, there is liquid from other compounds. And here's the surface, where we can immediately see vegetation in an exotic form. By hiding the atmosphere with clouds, we can examine the terrain of this planet. It has such an interesting terrain, and this is how everything looks here at night. And here we can see the parent gas giant, and right next to it is another moon. By the way, that moon is gaseous. If you look in auto mode, you get this kind of beauty. And the second moon with life is even hard to call a moon of a gas giant, because look at the situation here. The gas giant has a gaseous moon classified as a cryogenic mini Jupiter, and already in its orbit revolves a moon with life, and multicellular exotic creatures live here too. The moon is called Trachilio. The average temperature here is minus 206 degrees Celsius, and the pressure is just under 1 atmosphere. But this time, oxygen is present in the atmosphere. And here's the view on its surface. What will the sunset look like here? Let's take a look. And when night falls, we can see such beautiful views here on this moon. And if you look higher up, we see this green light. That's actually the light from that parent gas giant. I've returned to this gas giant. Now, I'll show you its other moons. I'll show you its largest moons. Here's the first one. It also has a moon like this. There's another gaseous moon like this, and an icy one too. There's also this moon which is larger than Earth. There's another icy one. And the last one you haven't seen is this one. Beyond this gas giant is the 11th planet of the system, named Alashvir. It's a rocky world with a thin atmosphere and an average temperature of minus 225 degrees Celsius. The planet has 12 moons, including 3 that are over 1,000 kilometers in diameter. Here's the first one, here's the second, and here's the third. And here's something interesting ahead. The 12th planet of the system. I'd even say the 12th planets, as it's a binary planetary system and both have exotic life. The first planet is called Valdemar. It has a dense ring system. The average temperature here is minus 202 degrees Celsius and the pressure is almost 4 atmospheres. And interestingly, there are many seas of liquid nitrogen here. Moreover, underwater creatures still live in these seas. This is how the rings look from the surface during the day. And we see the star in the sky. And here is this liquid sea of liquid nitrogen. And here, by the way, not far from it, I immediately see exotic life. There it is. On the dark side of the planet, a beautiful landscape of the rings opens up. And here's a view of the neighboring companion planet. By the way, let's fly to this planet. This planet is called Grandquist. It also has liquid nitrogen on its surface, but in the form of lakes. The planet, as I've already mentioned, is inhabited by exotic life. Its average temperature is minus 211 degrees Celsius, and the pressure is 82 hundredths of an atmosphere. I've ended up here in a place like this. Well, it wasn't hard for me to find life on this planet. Here it is. As a matter of fact, let's watch the sunset on this planet. And so the sunset is over, and it's as if it hasn't really dimmed here, because this planet over here shines so brightly on the night side of this planet. Look, it's like it's actually daytime here. And so there's this kind of beauty here in the sky. In auto mode, this is how everything looks. This planet has an aurora. Just look at what a beautiful view I found. I checked the night sides of these two planets, and unfortunately, there are no lights in night cities here. Next in the system, there are 5 dwarf planets in a row. I'll show them to you one by one. I present to you the dwarf planet Bridget, and this is Dabergast, Alvarado, Sadatori, and Tuatecatl. And the last, 18th planet in the yellow dwarf system is a cryogenic mini-Neptune, a gaseous, cold, distant world named Sacha. Its average temperature is minus 240 degrees Celsius, and it has 56 moons, including 3 large ones. Here's the first of its large moons. There's a thin atmosphere here. Here's the second one. It has no atmosphere at all. And here's the third one. It's the largest, and there's a thin atmosphere with oxygen here. But let's not forget that there's another star in the system, although it's not a full-fledged star, but a brown dwarf. It's called Aesius B, and it also has a second name, Zuga. It has a mass of 50 Jupiters and a temperature of 901 degrees Celsius. It has 8 planets, and 2 of them have life. The first planet is a cold desert subterra. Very cold here right away. The average temperature is minus 174 degrees Celsius, and the atmosphere is very thin. In this system, half of the planets are tidally locked to the brown dwarf. Their names are simply listed as Zuga 1, Zuga 2, 3, 4, and so on up to the 8th planet. I'll descend to the surface of this planet. There's this kind of rocky terrain here. And so here's a view of the brown dwarf, and in auto mode it glows like this. On the second planet of the system, there's multicellular life under the ice and exotic life on the surface and in the liquid seas. But there's no familiar liquid water here. The seas consist of liquid nitrogen, oxygen, and argon, and the average temperature is minus 180 degrees Celsius, and the atmospheric pressure is 29.5 atmospheres. This kind of dim red world is permeated by the rays of the brown dwarf. Actually, this is the kind of picture we see in the sky. There's the brown dwarf, and there, I take it, is the moon of this planet. In auto mode, the brown dwarf is visible, but the moon is not. On the third planet, there's also life, but it's the simplest single-celled kind here, and lives only under the ice on this planet. The fourth planet here is the only gas planet, a cryogenic mini-Jupiter, and it's already so dimly lit that you can't distinguish any details on it at all. Then further on, we encounter very dim, unremarkable, and lifeless rocky planets. Here is Zuga 5, here is planet Zuga 6, and here is planet Zuga 7. And what's interesting is that from here, the first and main star of this system, Aesius, looks like this. and it's as if it's already illuminating this side. I don't think I saw anything like that on those other planets. And the last, 8th planet here, is a dwarf planet named Zuga 8. And so from its surface, you can see this first main star, the yellow dwarf Aesius, and that's how the brown dwarf looks. So that's the system. The creator really put a lot of work into it, and it was interesting to travel through this system. What do you think of it? Write your opinion in the comments. And if you also enjoyed my review, then don't forget to leave a like. Thank you very much.